Shri Krishna. So I have my AirPods on just for a better clarity and better audio as well. I hope this works. Let's try it out and see with the AirPods as well. I do attend a lot of calls with the AirPods, but I just don't want to use AirPods all the time. So today I'm going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is about exaltation and debilitation in Vedic astrology. Okay, and I'm going to break down in a way by Rashi, Nakshatra, and Nakshatra as degrees as well. And I'm going to give you some very important and insightful data. Yeah, it would actually help you to understand, break down Vedic astrology beautifully. Now, first of all, people don't understand the difference between exaltation, debilitation, Mula Trikona, own house, etc. Okay, you need to understand that. If you don't understand, if you just read it, it's all face value. So exaltation, debilitation is purely based on light. Purely based on light. I've done a video on Vibgyor. Watch that also. You'll understand about light. Exaltation, debilitation is also based on light. All right. Now, Mula Trikona own house is purely based on the electromagnetic force, EMF, magnetic pole, right? The gravitational pole. That is based on purely on Mula Trikona and own house. Okay. Exaltation, debilitation is based on light in a way. Okay. Vedic astrology itself is light, and it's divine light as Jyotish. Now, a lot of people, right, will ask this question. I know it's going to come, right? And I'll address this question up front. The question is, oh, I know a chart where a person has 3 planets exalted, 2 planets in own or Mula Trikona Rashi, but he leads a normal life. That will be a question, which I'm sure will come. See, you cannot take exaltation, debilitation at face value. I'll give an example what face value means. Suppose you go, you're on the road somewhere out. Okay, a person comes and says, "Hey, by any chance, do you have change for $100?" Okay, you says, "Yes, I have change." And what happens is, you give the change for $100, and you exchange, right? You give the change and the person gives you $100 note. So technically speaking, it's the same. $100 change, you're exchanged. Okay, superb. You come back home. And then at some point, you realize in the house, somebody tells you, or you go to the bank, when you try to deposit that $100 in your account, you realize that that note is a fake note, fake currency. But technically speaking, you have exchanged $100 with the change $100, right? So what does it tell you? All that glitters is not gold. Everything that looks the same as $100 which you had exchanged is not the same value now, because it's fake. This is the story. Okay, and I hope you understood this, right? At face value, it is the same. $100 note, it's the same, yes. But microscopically, you go and look, then only you will see whether it's a fake note or a real note. Same thing, a value of an exaltation planet at face value will look exalted, but you'll have to go and see whether it's truly exalted. How? By nakshatra, by degrees, but the house owner strength, the depositor, okay, the depositor strength. Second, for moon, it's more than also exaltation, sun position, light, the full moon, right? That itself is an exaltation for the moon, other than moon in Taurus in Kritika Nakshatra, okay, other in Pada 2, more than that, okay. For moon, it's also very different. So there are so many layers in it. And exaltation, debilitation is not the only way to analyze the strength of a planet. There is something called Shatbala. Okay, we'll also discuss that at some point. So this is one of the ways, but within this way also you have to see whether, decode and see whether it is actually at face value or not. Okay, another important thing, right? Even if a planet is debilitated, but if it has got planet sitting in Kendra to that planet, then it is not really debilitated anymore. Suppose Jupiter is sitting in Capricorn, okay, debilitated, okay, at 5 degrees. But Saturn is sitting in Libra in Swati Nakshatra at 20 degrees exalted. This Jupiter is not debilitated anymore for 2 reasons. One, the depositor of Jupiter in Capricorn is Saturn. 2, Jupiter is sitting in a Kendra to Saturn. That's it. That's it. It's not debilitated. That Jupiter will give you excellent results. Like it's a Nichabanga. Initially, it'll give you the turbulence result because it's down, but it's been lifted up. Think about you having a phone and you don't have juice charge in the phone, but you have a battery pack. So it lifts it up. But right, same thing, that is how Nichabanga works. Okay, but it will give you the first down result. It will give you, that is for sure. It will give you the down result. But then if it doesn't give you, if it gives you the results of a straight away very good result, what is the difference between Jupiter in Capricorn and Jupiter in Cancer then? There's no difference, right? Which is exaltation Rashi. So this is where the catch is. You have to understand. Yeah, okay. So I gave the so-called exceptions as well, right? The exceptions is planet sitting in Kendra, house owner, planet sitting in Kendra. Third one, if it is aspected by a benefic, Venus is sitting in Cancer, excellent. That moon is sitting exactly opposite to Jupiter, excellent. It's not. So because you have to understand exaltation and debilitation by light, when light comes from Venus opposite to Jupiter or a full moon opposite to Jupiter, right? It gets the light. That's it. It's all about light. All right. Okay. Here again, when we dig into the exaltation and debilitation stuff, you will find some very interesting things, which we'll see. Sun, the king. You know, it is exalted in the first house in Kalpurush, Aries, at 10 degrees. Okay, so you always have to see Mars strength. Then planet sitting in Kendra to Sun. And if Sun is getting dignified, right? And Sun in the natural 10th house as a malefic will also get Digbala. We'll look at Digbala later. Okay, here it is at 10 degrees, Ashwini Nakshatra, Pada 3. And Sun will, in the Navamsha, right, will go to Gemini Navamsha, which is a malefic Navamsha. Okay, now the debilitation point is exactly the opposite point of the exaltation point. So Sun will be debilitated at Libra in 10 degrees in Swati Nakshatra, Pada 1. Okay, all right. So naturally, in the Navamsha also, it will be up in a way, right? You don't see in the Navamsha that way though. That is the most important thing. He will come to a Sagittarius Navamsha, which is a benefic Navamsha. So the Rashi chart, D1 chart, you always see with, you know, friendship table, friendship, enemy, neutral, you know, exalted, Mula Trikona, own, malefic. I mean, there are 7 ways you see that, right? You start from exalted, okay? Exalted. Next is Mula Trikona, own, friend's house, okay? Neutral house, enemy house, then debilitated. 7 ways you see that. This is all part of Shadbala, which I'll do. But in the Navamsha, you only see malefic or benefic. So here he'll be opposite exactly in the Gemini Navamsha, in exaltation. But in debilitation, he'll go to Sagittarius Navamsha. Right? Exactly in Sagittarius Navamsha. Okay? All right. Moon, second royal planet like Sun. Second house, Kalpurush exaltation. Taurus Rashi, 3 degrees. Kritika Nakshatra, Pada 2. Okay? So in the Navamsha, he'll go to Capricorn. That is one of the reason the exalted moon still can give you some difficult results because of Capricorn Navamsha. But moon in Rohini Nakshatra, Pada 2, is Pushkara Navamsa and Vargotama in Taurus again. So moon Rohini Nakshatra Pada 2 will give you better results than moon Kritika Nakshatra Pada 2. Okay, because of the Navamsha. Yeah, malefic Navamsha, benefic Navamsha. Moon in debilitation will be in Scorpio Rashi, opposite of Taurus. Visakha Nakshatra Pada 4. That is where he is debilitated. Okay. Slowly observe the Rashi, the Nakshatra. The Rashi, Nakshatra, both. Mars. Okay. Moon, by the way, gets Digbala on the 4th house. I forgot to say that, 4th house. Mars, exalted in the natural 10th house, where he also gets Digbala, 10th house. Okay. Capricorn. And exactly at 28 degrees. In his own Nakshatra, Dhanishta, Pada 2. Okay. In the Navamsa, it will go to Virgo, which is a benefic Navamsha. Okay. Benefic Navamsha. If you see, he goes to Virgo. All right. Virgo is a benefic Navamsha. Right. In debilitation, Mars will be debilitated Cancer Rashi at 28 degrees in the nakshatra of Ashlesha Pada 4. Okay. All right. Next is Mercury. Mercury, right, gets Digbala in the 1st house. And he gets exalted in Virgo at 15 degrees, 1-5, in Hasta Nakshatra Pada 4. Okay, Hasta Nakshatra Pada 4. And Mercury will be in a, when he's exalted, he'll go to a benefic Navamsha, which is Taurus. Yeah, Taurus. Okay. Mercury, when debilitated, will be exactly debilitated. So it's, if you slowly observe, Mercury is exalted at Hasta Nakshatra, Moon's Nakshatra. Okay, Moon's Nakshatra. So Mercury still needs that moon energy. Yeah. Now Moon's Mula Trikona is Rohini, not Hasta or Shravana. Yeah, but it still needs the moon's energy. In debilitation, Mercury is debilitated at Pisces at 15 degrees, exact opposite. Uttara Bhadrapada Pada 4. Okay. Okay. Next is Jupiter. Jupiter, Digbala in the 1st house. Right? Digbala in the 1st house. Sun and Mars Digbala in the 10th. Moon Digbala in the 4th. Mars also Digbala in the 10th. And Mercury and Jupiter Digbala in the 1st house. Is exalted at Cancer at 5 degrees. In Pushya Nakshatra Pada 1. Pushya, he himself is the Lord, Nakshatra Lord in a way. Even though Saturn is the Nakshatra Lord, he is the deity Lord. I should clarify that. Pushya is the deity Lord, the Rig Veda deity Lord, right? He is the Adhipati. But Nakshatra Lord is Saturn, Rashi Lord is Moon. Yeah, Cancer, Pushya Nakshatra. And in debilitation, of course, in exaltation, he goes to Leo Navamsha, malefic Navamsha. In debilitation, Jupiter is at Capricorn 5 degrees. Capricorn 5 degrees, which will be Uttarashada Nakshatra Pada 3. Yeah, Uttarashada Nakshatra Pada 3. Of course, watch the table in the header picture. You can clearly get the information as well. I've made sure to publish that as well. Next is Venus. Venus is exalted. So Digbala in the 4th house, like Moon. Venus is exalted at 27 degrees in Revati Nakshatra Pada 4. Pada 4. Okay. Now Venus is the only planet which is Pushkara Navamsa and Vargotama, which means he is also in the Navamsha and a benefic Navamsha in Pisces, which is a Pushkara Navamsa and a Vargotama. No other planet gets it. Watch the video on Vibgyor, you will understand it. Venus is debilitated in Virgo at 27 degrees, which is Chitra Nakshatra Pada 2. Okay, Chitra Nakshatra Pada 2. All right, next is Saturn. Last is Saturn. There's no Rahu Ketu here. I don't include, okay? Saturn. Saturn is Digbala, will be in the 7th house. 7th. Okay. He is exalted in Libra in 20 degrees in Swati Nakshatra Pada 4. Last Pada, last degree, everything last. Saturn. Last Pada, last degree, everything last of Swati Nakshatra. All right. Digbala in the 7th house. He is debilitated in Aries at 20 degrees, exactly the opposite in Bharani Nakshatra Pada 2. Bharani Pada 2. Okay. What do you see in this whole thing? Again, of course, we all say, right, exaltation opposite Rashis, exaltation debilitation, degrees also opposite, right? But I also explained the original rules, the face value, everything. But what else? There's something more. There is only one nakshatra where a planet is exalted or debilitated. Sun is exalted at Ashwini. Okay, look at any other planet exalted in Ashwini or any other planet exalted in debilitated in Ashwini. Nobody. Okay. Moon is exalted at Kritika. Any planet exalted at Kritika or any planet debilitated at Kritika? No. Mars is exalted at Capricorn. Any in Dhanishta Nakshatra, any planet exalted or debilitated in Dhanishta? No. Mercury is exalted in Hasta. Any planet exalted or debilitated in Hasta? No. Jupiter is exalted in Pushya. Any planet exalted or debilitated in Pushya? No. Venus is exalted in Revati. Any planet exalted in Revati Nakshatra? No. Or debilitated? No. Saturn is exalted in Libra in Swati Nakshatra Pada 4. Any planet exalted in Swati Nakshatra? No. Any planet debilitated in Swati? Yes, Sun. Wait, okay. All right. In 10 degrees, which is Swati Nakshatra Pada 1. Okay. Any planet, Moon is debilitated in Scorpio, in Visakha Nakshatra. Any planet exalted or debilitated in Visakha Nakshatra, any planet? No. Okay. Mars is debilitated in Ashlesha Nakshatra. Any planet exalted or debilitated other than Mars in Ashlesha? Nope. Mercury is debilitated in Uttara Bhadrapada. Any other planet in Uttara Bhadrapada? Debilitated, exalted? Nope. Jupiter exalted, debilitated in Uttarashada, Pada 3. Any planet exalted or debilitated in Uttarashada? Nope. Venus debilitated in Chitra Nakshatra. Any other planet exalted, debilitated in Chitra? No. Saturn debilitated in Bharani Nakshatra. Any other planet exalted or debilitated in Bharani? Nope. What is one common factor? Swati Nakshatra. Yeah. Saturn is exalted in Libra in 20 degrees in Swati Nakshatra Pada 4. Sun is debilitated in Libra in 10 degrees, first Pada, right, of Swati Nakshatra. As soon as it enters, it is the first degree itself, it gets exalted, debilitated. Sun is debilitated. Swati Nakshatra. Okay. So Saturn exalted Libra 20 degrees Swati Nakshatra. Sun debilitated Libra 10 degrees Swati Nakshatra, first Pada. Right? Among all the nakshatras, there's only one nakshatra which has got an exaltation point and a debilitation point of 2 planets. One planet exalted, which is Saturn. Second planet debilitated, which is Sun. Right? Swati. Okay. Where is Swati? In Libra. And where is Swati in Libra located? It is also Mula Trikona of Venus. Where it is located? It is located exactly between 6 degree 40 minutes in Libra to 20 degrees. Who owns that nakshatra? Rahu. Is it just a ownership? No, it's a Mula Trikona nakshatra of Rahu. There was a misconception that people thought Satabhisha was a Mula Trikona, but it is Swati nakshatra. Yeah? Mula Trikona. Now again, you see there is something unique popping up about Rahu. Very unique than nobody else even if you touch a nakshatra. Again, Rahu will always stand out, guys. That is Rahu. He will stand out because he is the only Asura to got a Amrit. He's the only Asura. Nobody else has got it. And he transformed himself into a Deva thanks to Shukracharya's guidance. So Rahu is Rahu. Even if you see here, Rahu stands out in the form of Swati Nakshatra. Yeah, that is the nakshatra where Saturn gets exalted. It is not a very ordinary nakshatra. And it is in a Mula Trikona Rashi of Venus, Shukracharya. And it is also in the Mula Trikona Rashi of Shukracharya, Venus plus Mula Trikona Nakshatra of Rahu. It's a very powerful nakshatra. No other nakshatra gets this uniqueness in a way of exaltation and debilitation at the same point. Yeah, this is important again. Why I am sharing this? Because Rahu will stand out. Always Rahu will stand out. That is the power of Rahu. And the power of Swati Nakshatra, it's just not a blade of grass. It's more than a blade of grass. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. Watch the video. Look at the header picture table. That will answer a lot of the information I've shared as well, which I'll post as well. Yeah, I will post a separate video on Mula Trikona own as well. You can connect all the dots. Again, this 100% power, 0% power, it's all, don't go by face value. I have given the sub rules to be looked at. If everything is a face value, then you don't need, you don't need anything else. It's not, it'll be so easy then. It is not a straight math of Vedic astrology 5 plus 4 equal to 9. You cannot do that way. It won't work. All right. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys soon in another video. Thank you and Jai Shri Krishna.